is just hold on, make it all the way towards that top 10, keep surviving. So many hammers all around Thomas. It seems like that's just been the theme for this duo each and every single day. Everyone rotating around them, causing them so many materials. Dylan and Pixie want that high ground too. They want Queasy's spot. Those looking all the way up through that cone, assessing when's the best time to actually make the move. We're going into home turf for Queasy. Vino, Janice, Reason, Chari, Geras falling down. It's at the top 5. They will not be able to cement a few more points for the rest of this game. Or Stash actually looking towards the skies with Tayson as well. They're trying to put on the pressure.
His focus is on the skies, but he needs to focus on his layer. That's high jump. Benusi, or for Strokey, sorry. And Benusi there. He needs to be careful of high jump. Just getting dropped down. But Mustache and Tayson, they're still on the move here.
The ground's changing in theme completely. Low grasslands translating to slippery high glaciers as we move in towards the snow. Trexer, he gets his feet icy. No match though, so really must be careful. Savage and ZX side by side. Savage in the box, 135. Business as per usual, but his teammate down. It's all up to him now.
Caught out from behind. ZX had no idea what was coming, but Savage reacted well enough. But will he have the solo performance needed to start pushing themselves back into this competition standing? He's going to keep moving down on low, running low on mats as well, and so has to start thinking about a big shot. Tayson is nowhere to be seen here. Malabuka and Thomas. Revive, will it happen? Zangi won't let it. He has to hammer out.
Vico shot in the back by Malabuka as he goes completely on transition towards the next portion of the game. Low ground not going to be the best spot to stay in as a solo though. So many cliffs in the way. It's going to be hard to just make it up on your own. Queasy going back up for height once again. Mappy still popping off. He's had so many eliminations so far. Him and Diox are just going completely ham right now. Seti up front as well. Had Cammy up, it looks like at the start of the game. 114 to the head, but it's not going to be enough.
And again, players just getting caught out from behind. Nobody paying attention to the cues. Zara, Zangi, they're fighting for height though, and the aerialist is going to cost him. He can't quite stay in.
And they have an effect on high ground. Queasy and Vino down. Savage picks up Vino, and it is Pixie that stops Queasy. But Zara's not done. Him and Zangi had a game where they were looking really good on day 1-2 on this high ground. They don't want to stop, and they have control.
All season long, they've had it easily, nobody contesting, but now Zara and Zangi here in game 7, they're the ones to take it, they're the ones to fight for it. Mustache and Tayson still in this one, the backside of the zone, not many materials, praying, hoping somebody walks into their sights. And for a moment, I think Tayson just maybe has found what he wanted, a player. Zangi, in fact, from height, has dropped down, been knocked down, and so that's going to be their lifeline in this game.
Might have been fall damage, might have been hammers all the way from down below. Malabuka is the one to have that effect again. Is it up against Mustache? What a shot on the Vanyak! Insane! And he goes straight up again. It's another 1v1, and Malabuka can't slow down. Up in the air. Not this time, though. He gets stopped. Kyrie sends another player straight into the storm. That is Mustache, as he's also last alive.
Tayson, he has to connect. He has to hold on, and Mustache will come through to clean things up. We said it was their game, their moment, the zone. Look like Tayson and Mustache were not too far beneath them as well, so they could very much have a good game here.
Everyone knows if you're on height right now, all the duos below you are an absolute shambles.
Look at the view they have. They're taking shots. That's Janice and Reason are taking shots at. They've put them to a stop. Reason has to stop and build for a moment. You can't just get in.
To look for more pressure on the left side, eyeing where they need to be in the zone. Malabuka Thomas doesn't look like they're in absolute trouble, but still lots of people in the boxes around them. What a rotate from Malabuka in between all the builds. Thomas is not going to be with him completely for now, just slightly ahead, but they'll find each other.
Just be careful, not sitting on comfortable ground by any means. Geras and Chari, they're desperately trying to find something. They need their first elimination of the game to be sometime soon. Not able to stop that player from hammering away. Reason and Janice, they fall here just outside of the top 20. Tayson and Mustache though, they keep moving, they find a refresh, and that is so crucial. Those mats are going to go such a long way for them as they now start to make their move, as the zone will pull again.
Savage and ZX also inside this game have one of the best positions to be able to play from low ground. Shimoki and Swizzy actively catch up, but the most important thing is they're together. Double hammer there too. Shimoki, a very good adjustment. He's going to be right beside Swizzy once again. They'll be able to keep firing. Lupchi though, kind of almost by himself. They got no mats. They have to go for an all-in.
They have to find it in fast, but a player right behind them. That's El Nada, still in this game. He was looking like he was going to be out a couple minutes ago, but now he finds 2 free limbs. Savage, ZX, do they know they're going to have to start rising? The zone's moving up. Everybody has to elevate here.
Trouble in Paradise shoots for Tayson, and Mustache had so much control. Now Mustache down, oh, Tayson to go for this clutch. I don't see a hammer though, so there has to be manual movement. Interrupted towards the backside. Tires punctured. This vehicle, this behemoth is slowed down.
He might have to get that thing off the road and just sit for a moment, refuel. Queasy, Vino, it's so easy for them though. As everybody is squeezed beneath the zone, underneath this hill, they can just chill from above. Savage trying desperately to stay alive. ZX nowhere to be found to help him. He just has to play as a solo, and still nobody really causing a challenge to Queasy and Vino.
2/3 of the lobby filtered out by one clip. Neb's barely just surviving. Vino and Queasy have not stopped shooting for the last minute in a row. Neb's finally making it in, somehow with Pink alive. They made it through that great filter. ZX and Savage, it's just ZX. He's finally down. 4 elims for the duo though. They're looking good. Malibuca and Thomas somehow have survived that chaos too. They were on low for quite a hot minute. 5 different duos now alive. They go all the way down towards the left off the cliff, have to try to make it back. Zangi's also somehow camouflage, makes it all the way to low, but Queasy finds his head too.
They tried to go for high last game. There will be no thought about that now. All it is thinking about staying alive. Zara needs some mats, he needs Zangi to build for him. Things starting to cool down for a second, but that just gives Queasy and Vino even more time to finish the master plan. Pink eventually falls, he gets taken out by Thomas, and Nebs now as a solo also gonna fall at the hands of Zangi. These two though, they've controlled the low ground, they've dominated everything here.
They're siphoning all the elims for themselves, squeezing now no materials whatsoever, so this might just be the Thomas show in just a second. Shimoki exposing himself on the left side, Zara finally going down. Queasy has some time to delay and a few builds to hide behind. Vino finally looking in, but once again they have no control. Vino's the only one with mats to be able to play. Thomas has picked up both eliminations. A tree in the way, could be able to split a few mats for Queasy to use. His final 2v2 and Malibuca is going up for it. A little bit of control, but look at the cost for it. A big shot. He's gonna get it off. Vino taking the damage, but Malibuca will go down. They find each other once again. The same tile to use. Queasy's now building for Vino. Thomas HP advantage. Queasy from the backside. And what a win.
What a way to do it as well in a game where everybody seemed to be struggling with.
They'll have to use all 3 hammer charges to get just into that next circle. Banyak, Karmi, they're the ones who were kind of beaming Pixie all the way on high ground. They go all the way down to the ground now. And elect to rotate themselves. Everyone now just on movement. Barely even a single shot fired at the sky. Queasy and Vino, I was going to say they're just trying to rotate in the zone. They just take heights.
This is where they want to be. This is where they feel comfortable. Even when things maybe aren't as fruitful when it comes to loot and mats. If they think they have enough to hold it, they will go for it. And they aren't going to be too many contests this game, you think, especially with the struggles that Pixie and Della had. Thomas and Malibuca, they've been so consistent here on low ground. I expect to see them continue to just tart their way on through these zones. Seti and Cammy, who you associate with being a dominant low team, aren't quite able to piece things together. Mustache and Tayson, they find such a big refresh at this stage in the game. That's going to be huge. I wouldn't be too surprised to see them come away with a win now at this stage as they keep moving through these zones, traveling through all these different layers, all these different elevations. And you're seeing how some teams are struggling with it. If you don't have that hammer, it's so hard.
You won't just have to move, you'll have to climb. The ground's moving up now. Once again, we're getting icy cold, straight to the glaciers. Big long hills. Dylan and Pixie looking mighty dry and super high, now find themselves all the way down towards low ground, trying to bully a few boxes, trying to see if they can find anything for the moment, but Surge is really ticking down. Just one shot is what Della needs to land. He finally finds it. 18 below though. It might just net down to 0. 12 above for Della and Pixie to get to breathe, but look at the cost. No mats, no chance. Not a problem to live, but will they thrive?
They have to get in a box, you think. They need a refresh, even if they deal with their Surge. They're 12 above now. Look at their mats, look at their shields. They need something to save their game. Vino, Queasy's down, and he's moved to the front side of the zone. Actually, not in the back side of the zone. Now trying to move towards the front, and he'll reclaim height. But with his free builds, you've got to think at some point this comes to an end.
Look at how low the entire lobby is too. Half this entire zone is going to be on top of a cliff. Everyone now going down. Vino barely makes it. A shotgun shot, a big siphon. He's super healthy, but no mats. Hides. He knows there's barely even anyone here. They're all trapped down below, but he will have to leave the high ground at one point. The safe haven is not going to reign true for so long. He tries to get close and personal with a shot that would have been huge, but it's not going to be possible. Pink right in front of him down below. He has to chase it, but the spray is not going to connect. No match just yet, just a few more to use. 2 builds, how far can he stretch him?
Close but no cigar. So many opportunities there for him, but he can't quite connect to anything. Reason and Janice, they're still in this game. They're lurking in the backside. The zone pool's so generous to them. They don't have the mats to really claim any sort of layer, and so they just sit there and wait.
Thomas Malabuka also very active, 6 elims, and I saw Taysom getting a few in the feed, so those high and mighty duos who are looking to take away that first place, they might be getting very close to it here. Mustache and Taysom on the other side of Thomas and Malabuka are just absolutely splitting this foreground apart.
Wow. Just wow, claiming space and taking shots to just wipe everybody off these layers. Cammy just dropped right into their box. They need that refresh. Cade now on the other side.
They just have shots left though. That refresh has to come in fast. They do pick up Cammy. Might just be 150 max. Bing up top looking for a few shots. Seti finally going down, so they split apart. Another duo to share between each other. Thomas not having so many mats, but those will also dwindle. Thomas now getting very close to Tayson. Side by side, looking to see who can survive.
A big collision is coming. Thomas and Malabuka against Mustache and Tayson. You've got to think it's coming, but no, Kate. He's going to interrupt it. He takes down Tayson, but Malabuka and Thomas have their own troubles now. They can't stay alive. They will fall. Mustache is still in this one. He hits a big shot there. Takes down Kyrie. He's still in this. A 1v1 now against Ping. There's no way Mustache wins this now. Ping, he needs to farm. He has a couple more mats left. He is able to hold on, but for just how much longer? Mustache has time to heal, and you know he can connect with a big shot. Mustache versus Ping. Everything on this one now. The hammer play to move up. Can't quite connect. Ping can connect. He will take him down. But Mustache, to stay alive for that long, 7 elims in that game. You've got to wonder what that means for them in their pursuit.
By himself. Janice just went down. I think these guys tried to get in. Look for an opportunity to maybe just get a few more materials, because Reason has nothing. 1 build left. He's got 1 box. He has to pray a hammer. Player comes right next to him. Someone falls for the trap. Queasy and Vino not near height either. When can they take it? Vino's actually just not here. It's only Queasy.
He's a solo with not many materials, but a hammer still in hand. He's going to use to just sort of run his way on in. Before hammering now. He probably wants to land in this box and try to take Carly out. Oh my goodness. Queasy. There goes that man. He stays alive as well. He won't be taken out. Vanyak can't get the trade.
It's just stage 1 though. Has to go for it again. Needs to make miracles a possibility. Gets damage down. Queasy gonna be found to be almost lost in Storm. We go all the way back to Reason. Yes, it was Dark that ends up taking him out. That's one team that's not gonna be able to hold on to that top 4. Reason barely keeping his head above water. Needs to keep breathing. He's got no mats either.
And when they figure out he's right above, Nipsey and CZB might just have something to say about it. It doesn't seem like they know, so he will survive for just a couple more seconds before he can hammer his way on out. But just like Queasy, he's probably hoping he can hammer himself in a box. It's actually Malabuka. They're direct competition now, taking them out. And that's a huge find for Malabuka, especially because Tayson, he doesn't have Mustache in this one. He has to play it as a solo.
No stranger to it though, he's done it many times before. The power that Thomas and Malabuka will have together will be huge. Dilla up top with Pixie. They'll start to shoot down in the rest of the lobby. And it's a flavor we haven't really seen before. So many people adjusted off spawn weeks. Makes completely new players up in the business. Lots of new variables. Thomas Malabuka now, still on that low. Way ahead of everyone else. 3 eliminations already. They should hold that first place. How far can they stretch the lead?
Here at the front side of zone, they need to start claiming space, because if not, they'll get cut off. It's Pink and Nebs right there in front of them. It's another team above them. It's Ryan and Paco, and now they get taken out from behind. Malabuka all alone. Thomas has fallen, and he doesn't really have much to hold on really in this game.
Has the hammer, has the tools. What can he forge?
And his own pool as well in his favor.
Malabuka versus Tayson. Both side by side. Tayson running low on mats. Both have hammers. Tayson has the first move to get forward. Malabuka, what's he cooking? Mixon already going down. Lost almost a Storm, only 2 builds. Can't make a box! He cannot build at all. Nebs and Pink are his targets, nothing to mantle to. Straight deep into the Storm. Flopper, and that's the last move he can make. Misses against Pixie. Twice the blunders, not like this! Malabuka goes down. It's Tayson that takes him out. Taking the lead almost, just 1 elim with him. It could be anyone's game. Now it's Dila, who's also absolutely eradicated. Chaos on the server as everything goes aflame. Friendly Fields is the location. The entire board changes. but the game's not over yet.
And in all that chaos, there's nobody even sitting above. Pixindella got taken out and everybody forgot about it. This Trippin now flying through the skies. He lands, but he needs to start to connect to something because his mats are starting to dwindle. And there are players there, but everybody in absolute shambles. Nobody really finding any bit of control. And this might be the right chance for him to just sort of walk through, sneak up behind, a bigger 100 shot. Needs a bit more. Fred though, really on the defensive now, waiting for him and Marius to find something.
But Marius have the control. Marius pushed all the way back in the storm. Comes right back on a higher layer and follows through the bushes. What can he see? Trapped in a tree. Marius climbs all the way towards the top, but can't find anything. He's lost. He can't see much. Kylie by himself takes out Trippern, and just like that, in a flash, the game is over. Complete chaos. And this just have to make the right decisions. Just have to play it safe for a few zones.
And the Shockwave Hammer will allow them to get towards zone. One bounce, two bouncing in. A better position, up elevated. And now looking at everybody else. Vino, Queasy, gliding their way through the skies, picking out where exactly they'll start their hype base from. And now that they found it, a couple 90s will only be the difference between getting up. Vino though, so aggressive, so hungry. They're not even going for high right now, they're going for this. And yeah, they'll find it onto Marius. That is huge. The mats are going to do wonders for them as they move on throughout this endgame. Tasting and Mustache need something like that themselves as they start to plan their next move. Hammer in and straight down low.
350 Surge to work with. They have so much breathing room. Just need to let the game end itself almost. Thomas HD also in similar positions, but he's landing big shots like he needs it. A pixel shown, and he claims it. Thomas to Geras down, and both of them still safe and sound. Walked off on the front box. They choose to just use the hammers and get straight out.
It was Mustache and Taser right in front of them, but they hammered out of the way. The top two teams clashing here in this endgame once again, but up above, Queasy and Vino in their own battle for height. They're trying to take it, but it's Trexer and Asa that are giving them problems.
Trexer completely deleted as Asa takes down Queasy. All up to Vino now, and he needs a lot of eliminations to keep this up towards the top two.
You can see Tayson and Mustache down below claiming space. Thomas and Malabuka in the backside. They need to try and find something as well as they move on forward. That hammer's going to get them there. And once again, they might walk right into the path of Mustache and Tayson. Big shots connecting, big shots flying, but Tayson needs a refresh. Mustache has gone down. Another game where Tayson has to clutch up.
They'll wait for the next shot. Silence all around him. Wood builds can be seen. Two more charges of the hammers. All he really has. No builds. Zero. Just bullets. Just anger. Just that gene. It's the clutch. The tracking. Can't follow. It belongs. It's Tayson. It's a guarantee. And he's got so many mats now. Up above. He can find a way to just clear his mind. Breathe some air. Calm himself down. He's got a chance to play the game. Vino in similar spots. His last box. One more mat. And he's left out to the fray. Finds one. 180. Can he confirm it? Straight up to the skies. Has to do it all over again. Waiting for it. Thomas down. Malabuka gone. This might be Tayson's moment. Vino. We'll tune in with him in just a minute. This is huge from Tayson. All points from here on out. It's a lead he can keep pushing forward for. A very winnable game. 2 more boxes left. Straight to the front side of zone. He has the 1v1. Wrapped around. Piece control! Denied! Denied by Asa!
But he survived his biggest competition. Malabuka and Thomas went down, and so he might have just done enough. For the rest of the lobby though, after all the goats in this one have fallen, they now battle for their spot in the standings. Desi, Dark Desi, he's been real darkness in this game for limbs. He's been a menace to any team that gives him the opening, but with just one build sitting here on this code, he needs to go absolutely huge. Rifty in a very similar spot. Flodex is in there, a big code onto Desi, 140 connects, and he takes him out.
Absolutely active with the aim. Rifty by himself now. That wall down below, but it's Glubshy and JJ2. Ever so resilient, so powerful. You can't knock them off this spot. That wall finally down. Rifty, his breathing room is a distraction. He takes it out himself to guarantee the points. JJ2 just has one task ahead of him. Take Rifty down. Nice options, but claim back fast from JJ2. His teammate may be up top, just playing for that heal game, dropping down below. It's Glubshy that wraps it up. Valiant effort from Rifty, but what a shift in the middle of the standings. What a game by JJ2, second to first, and already Tayson's in trouble.
Gruden just applying a bit of pressure. Tayson wanting to get a clearer path so that when the time comes to hammer, they don't get stuck beneath a hill, stuck beneath builds. Thomas and Malabuka, they're now starting to make their move. Couldn't quite scout as much, but still now even getting broken out. Oh dear, this is not okay. Thomas just has to hammer out the emergency procedure.
And he's all the way in, almost falling off the cliff, but he finds a build to actually latch onto. Malabuka, can you follow? Absolutely you can. These are some of the best players in Europe. And now finally side by side, unfortunately, it's not the plan to where they want to be. Tayson and Mustache, they're executing flawlessly, but they're down below Surge. Their position, absolutely powerful, but they're not finding any shots. Nothing to fully see. Thomas taking out a few. Vexy gone away. Malabuka in trouble. Max shot side by side. They have a few refreshes, but Malabuka's also trapped in the box. It's chaos. They can't see. Thomas is down. Malabuka is going to be able to actually almost pick one up. The conversion is going to be there. He's out of ammo on almost everything. Has to reload. It's all up to him now. It's Savage that he takes down. Hammer in the inventory. He's making sure everything is clean. Going in and out. The redeploy's there for him. He has all the tools to make the solo clutch a possibility. It's him right now in the driver's seat.
He's got the hammer, he's got the surge, and he's got so many builds. But it's all on him, the pressure is there. Chasing the Mustache, they're still a duo.
Head on points to Malabuka. Pushing forward, Mustache falls! Malabuka versus Tayson. He hammers closer to heights. All the way to the front quarter zone. Both so healthy on mats. This will come down to some of the final moments, but Malabuka falls down. Every hammer, a risk for them. They have to double up on boxes. Tayson moves forward again. Malabuka towards that top sign. Tayson on a box beside Bevies. It's trouble. Knocking at his door. Tayson taking out at 50 HP. Malabuka looking safe. He makes a few boxes. Bevies is still holding him down. Running out of mats for Tayson. He has to switch layers, but free fire shots from all sides. Tayson in trouble. In a blender right now. Let's find a way to get things through. Malabuka absolutely peachy up top. Setting down traps. Tayson has a chance to breathe. Fireball rolls, not stopping the pressure. Tayson flies all the way in front. No match now. Tayson needs this elimination to stay in the game. And he finds it on the Marius. The GOAT continues his reign, staying in front of the competition, but unaware of where the teammate is. Malabuka, delayed for a long time on the top right. Has to move now. Tayson, a lot of mats. Charges refilled. He pushes forward, chin into a box. Ignores everything because he prefers position, he prefers to live, and he can land the shot, but once again, finds himself on a low point, 48 HP. Malabuka is absolutely stress-free in his position. Tayson, though, up ahead in terms of elims and points. It will be Malabuka who has to make the first move. Tayson, with that lead, both players getting a chance to breathe. Malabuka with a duo below him. Tayson still looking on the right side. Can't find much just yet. High point of elevation, Malabuka gets dropped. Malabuka in trouble. One player below him, low HP, can't edit the floor, has to hammer all the way out. Tayson on the backside of zone. No mats left. Tayson hung high to dry. Malabuka on his last mats as well. Both so close to the demise. Malabuka in the box. It's done.
That's why he's the GOAT. Tayson stays alive when it shouldn't be possible. And now he just needs to keep on racking points. He needs to stay alive. Fred's on the other side of that wall. He just needs to stay quiet. As long as nobody notices, and he's good, but he falls as well. Tayson versus Malabuka at the end there. Everything riding on those moments, but the game still continues. Grows and Fire, they've held hype for a while now, and they're still gonna look to close out that game. Seti and Cammy, maybe a little too late for them, but they are down here, and they are taking people out. They need to start claiming space now, though. A lot of these builds are not theirs, and there will be players dropping. There will be opportunities to pick up some more limbs as the player count dwindles. Mappy in this one, but slowly falling. He might not be able to reach the top there with that hammer.
Has a chance, though. Brutal Bastion, bounce back and forth. Fireball and grows, the only constant that survives. Heat rises, and they're on fire up top. Cammy, Seti, Mappy, put in the oven. They can't stand it. Jump all the way down below. Mappy can't live through the pressure. Seti and Cammy now finally alive as they should be in EU. And this might be a salvage situation for their overall placement. Absolute redemption for Rose and Firebro up top. Having this win could cement them as threats coming into Major 2. The final game of EU goes down to a 2v2.
Rose and Fire up above with Cammy and Seti down below. They're farming every single bit of material they can. Rose using the bush to drop down and knock them way into the storm. He uses that shockwave hammer to perfection. Seti's down on HP, but Rose finally falls as well. It's Fire versus Cammy. Cammy in the storm. Fire doesn't know where he is, and he's not going to find him either. Cammy's way deep in there. The Siphon will get his HP back up, and he's going to chase. He's going to hunt. Does Cammy have enough, though, in terms of heals? No, he does not. He will fall. Fire will take it. Groves will take it. A 6-elimination victory out will be huge for their story. But Shia, all anybody's thinking about right now is who is the champion? Is it Tayson? Is it Malabuka? Both teams doing everything they could in those final moments.